ladies and gentlemen, there's a big shift this week. This middle week of January.
Yeah.
Everything got shifted back a day. There's
Yes.
no longer a Friday show.
Friday doesn't even exist anymore.
Nope. Friday don't matter. Unless they do something special. But as of right now, this is the first edition of the Thursday Smackdown Rundown. Whoa. You're always so violent.
Bitch, please.
And that's how much he cares. Alright, so we're going to do this very much like we did the Raw review. We're going to give you the results, and then we're going to discuss SmackDown as a whole.
Yeah.
So, we open up with Byron Saxton talking to Daniel Bryan, which led into...
Byron Saxton is welcomed to a new member of the SmackDown announce team.
Yes, it is him, Michael Cole, and Jerry the King Lawler on SmackDown.
They've flipped things around on us.
He'd be talking to Daniel Bryan, which would lead into his match with Kane, that Daniel Bryan would win by DQ after an interference by J&J Security, which would lead to our main event being a 6-man tag match, because he'd be joined by Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, and they'd be taking on Seth Rollins, Kane, and The Big Show. Then we would find out whether we're getting a tag team title rematch. Usos defending against Moneymakers at the Rumble. The Moneymakers and Alicia Fox would defeat Naomi and the Usos in a 6-person tag match. We'd have a little altercation between Heyman and Rollins after what happened on Monday night. Natalya would defeat Nikki Bella with a sharpshooter with Paige and Brie Bella in their respective corners. Big Show and Kane both enter themselves in the Royal Rumble. Bad News Barrett defends and retains the Intercontinental title against Sin Cara. Ambrose talks about the Royal Rumble. And Ambrose, Reigns, and Daniel Bryan defeat the Authority in a 6-man tag match. So starting off, this is the return of Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
I was super excited to have him back. Super excited because I cheated a little bit. I didn't read the results, but I went to WWE.com, and when I went to WWE.com, I saw a picture of Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, and Ambrose all fighting Big Show, Kane, and Seth Rollins.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, oh, so at first I was actually kind of disappointed because I was thinking like, oh. So they're now going to cheapen Daniel Bryan's return by making it a tag team match instead of having him one-on-one. So I was really excited to see that he did the one-on-one match at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, and
so Kane and Daniel Bryan both working double duty.
Yeah, because Kane had the entire Authority out there with him, except for Stephanie McMahon.
Triple H, Big Show, Rollins, and J&J Security.
Yeah, Kane and Daniel Bryan Daniel Bryan looks great.
Yeah,
He's faster. He's got so much more energy now that he's not dealing with that injury anymore.
Yeah.
Him and Kane work super well together.
It's just one of those moments where you knew, like, the way he was performing, you could tell he was just genuinely glad to be back.
Oh yeah. He'd be attempting to put in the yes lock on Kane. He would get it in, but before Kane could tap, we'd have J&J climb in the ring, attack Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan would kind of like sidestep everyone and back out, and he'd be backing up the ramp with the Authority following him, and he'd be joined by Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose up on the stage, and Triple H would Teddy Long that shit and give us our main event.
Yeah.
So yeah, real cool way to start off SmackDown. We got a double dose of Daniel Bryan, which is really cool for his return.
Yes.
We got to open the show and end the show with Daniel Bryan. But before we got that, we had some pretty solid matches in between.
Yeah, here's one of the things, is like this SmackDown didn't have a lot of matches, but the matches they had were really good quality.
Yeah, absolutely. The Intercontinental title match was really good. Sin Cara getting the win last week, I believe.
Yeah, to me this was actually the slowest match of the night, because it seemed like for the first 5 minutes or so of the match, these guys had a hard time meshing.
Yeah?
Yeah, it definitely did not go nearly as well as it did last week. But we had a couple different little mishaps.
You're right.
Sin Cara fell off the top rope onto Barrett's face.
That was just Barrett like booted him and he like rolled down really
inwards
awkwardly
and like hit Barrett in the face, which legitimately stunned Barrett for a minute.
It was a bizarre moment, just the way he fell.
Just a couple little things like that happened to me that were kind of like, and I was already like, I started zoning out, but then about 5 minutes into the match, it got really good.
Yeah.
Sin Cara hit his one-arm powerbomb on Barrett.
Yeah, this set up the end, which was really cool. When he hit the powerbomb, we both went, whoa.
Well, I was like already freaking out when he was picking him up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'd seen him do it to, like, Buddy Murphy on NXT, and Buddy Murphy's a pretty big guy.
He's about the biggest guy he's done it to, though.
Yeah.
Which was the really impressive part that, Bad News Barrett is significantly bigger than Sin Cara.
Yeah.
Buddy Murphy's about the same size. So, that could be expected. But, yeah, hitting it on Barrett was really cool. And then he'd go for the Swanton. Barrett would roll out of the way and start setting up for... He'd hit a... He hit something and then started setting up for the bullhammer.
Yeah.
And Sin Cara would duck the bullhammer and then would go for his springboard head attack that he does.
Yeah.
And then Barrett would hit the bullhammer in midair and get the pinfall there. So yeah, real cool end to the match. I agree. Now that I'm kind of reminded that there were the couple mishaps. It did start off slow, but it did get better.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
The Divas match was awesome.
Yeah, Nikki Bella taking on Natalya. Nikki is doing so well with her in-ring work as far as targeting a limb. She needs some sort of submission though, because she keeps going for that arm.
Yeah, she goes for the arm on a regular basis, and really, I mean, the only way I can justify it is she does cross the arm over when she does the rack attack. She crosses the outside arm over when she picks him up.
Yeah, I don't think
it's not an arm attacking maneuver.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm thinking maybe I'm very overly analytical about these things, but I'm thinking maybe it's the idea that when she picks them up, they couldn't pull their arm free if it's weak. Who knows?
That's fair.
But yeah, she does need something that's kind of an ends to the means.
Yeah.
Where it's like she's working on the arm, but if it's to benefit the rack attacker, she should be working on their back or their rib cage or something.
Or even the back of the neck or something
something like that.
Yeah, the spine is kind of what's being affected by that move. So, but yeah, I love the fact that she's paying attention and she's really working over the person as opposed to just wrestling a divas match that we kind of going back to our issues with Summer Rae versus Cameron on Superstars. It was just they wrestled a divas match. There wasn't anything special about it. There wasn't any in-ring technique added to it, which is what was great about this match. Natty looking good as usual.
My wifey poo on the outside.
I am so glad that Natty is getting more and more TV time. We've been wanting it for so long, and I'm glad that she's finally in that spot.
I hate to say that it is thanks to Total Divas. And the Tyson Kidd Natalya storyline.
I kind of want to hit you for saying that.
You can hit me on the arm if you want.
Stop it. That's bad.
But it's true.
It is true.
They brought their dissension to NXT, and the storyline got over, so they brought it up to the main roster. And now Kid and Natalya are regular weekly TV
It has worked to the benefit of both of them very well, because now we have Kid regularly on TV with Cesaro, and Natalya is firmly in the Diva storyline. So we had kind of a dueling distraction moment at the end. Brie gets up while Natty's going for the sharpshooter, and she starts yelling at Natty, trying to distract her.
Yeah, she held up the title. Nikki's title and says, "What do you think of this, Natty?"
Yeah, and Natty turns around and just looks at her. And then
Nikki makes a scramble for the ropes and gets smacked in the face by Paige.
Really fucking hard.
Just slaps. It was a death slap.
Yeah, she sold the hell out of it too.
Yeah.
That just rolls her right back into the middle of the ring.
For a sharpshooter.
And she ends up tapping out.
Which, to me, highlight of the show, Brie Bella.
No! her she was
the entire time Nikki was in the sharpshooter.
The most dramatic, she's I felt like it should have been in slow motion, but it wasn't.
I lost.
It was hilarious.
It was.
And
funny.
then we have
Bray Wyatt kind of promo during the show.
Yes. Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose both kind of did backstage.
Yeah, little their promos cut towards the Royal Rumble.
And then we had promos from Roman Reigns. We had Big Show and Kane both saying that they're going to be in the Rumble.
Renee Young has a haircut.
Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, I like the short hair. It looks nice.
I don't care what hair; she just looks nice.
So yeah, we're really starting to fill up the ranks of the Rumble now because
we've got close to halfway full now.
We got Gold and Stardust entered their names on the main event.
Big Show and Kane on SmackDown.
Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan,
Bray Wyatt.
I know we've got others. I'm blanking.
Rusev.
Yeah, Rusev. Yeah, so
we got 10 people or better now.
That's almost a third, and I'm sure we're missing a couple.
But probably.
So yeah, I mean, everyone, Barrett, yes. So yeah, everyone kind of staking their claims for the Rumble, which is kind of what we've been missing the last couple of weeks. We haven't had anyone, no one's really been hyping the Rumble. It's all been about the triple threat title match.
Yeah. I think they're doing the right thing. This whole Santino's Rumble lottery.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
This will bring in more names, and
it'll be that thing that they've been missing, where now everyone who comes in on this lottery special thing is going to have a time to say their piece and be like, hey, I'm going to win the Rumble, blah 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 blah. And I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah. Speaking of the triple threat title match that we're getting at the Rumble, after what happened during the contract signing on Raw, Heyman was pissed at Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
He stormed the ring and was just... He was really putting over the fact that when Brock Lesnar came into WWE, especially throughout the year of 2014, it wasn't that he had an issue with anyone, he was just being a conqueror. Mm-hmm. He didn't have issues with Undertaker, he just wanted to conquer the streak. He didn't have issues with John Cena. He just wanted to be WWE champion.
Yeah.
And now he has an issue. Now he's pissed off at Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Which, to me, actually makes sense.
Yeah.
The way Heyman described it does totally make sense because Brock Lesnar is a very periodical wrestler.
Yeah.
Where, he only pops in every now and again. Which, to me, says, if you had that storyline where if it was personal... You'd see Brock Lesnar would be appearing more frequently, and there'd be more fights going on between this person and that person with Brock Lesnar. With Lesnar it was very like, okay, I'm going to come in, do this match, go away, come back, do this match, go away. Like when they did the feud with Triple H, and it did start to get personal between the two of them.
Yeah.
Lesnar would show up on Raw, F5 Shawn Michaels, stuff like that.
Yeah, break Shawn's arm, just to get those matches. But yeah, I mean, the way Paul Heyman put it is that Brock has just come in because he wanted to do these things and he's done them, and now Seth Rollins has made it personal by curb stomping him twice.
Yeah.
So and then this brings out Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins was in rare form. He was very, very babyface.
The crowd popped when Rollins came out a little bit.
Just the way he was talking, I felt like I should have been rooting for Seth Rollins at this point.
Well, I mean, even if you're not into the...
Well, no, I'm going to root for Seth Rollins anyway.
Yeah,
because I like him better out of the three.
If you're going between, Lesnar, Cena, Rollins, you're definitely not going to root for Lesnar.
No. Hell no.
You're going to root for Cena or Rollins, somebody who's going to have the title on the show on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Not a PW... No, not a PWI Wrestler of the Year. I can't say that because Cena's probably won that multiple times.
But he deserved it. At least he wrestled more than 4 times.
But, so if you're going down to any pairing of the two, like if you were like Cena versus Lesnar, you're definitely going to vote for Cena. And so now we're having Rollins versus Lesnar, conflicting parties here. You're definitely going to root for Rollins.
Yeah.
And then Rollins says, right now, I want to cash in my Money in the Bank contract and fight Lesnar.
Yeah, which is interesting, because usually you have the champion present, and that's when the person makes the challenge. But yeah, he tells Paul Heyman, he's like, you know what, we're going to do this right now. SmackDown's back on Thursday.
Because Heyman accused Seth Rollins of being scared of Lesnar. And Lesnar says, Rollins says, I'm not afraid of anybody. Yeah. Especially not Brock Lesnar. Let's get it on right now. Obviously Lesnar wasn't there.
Yeah.
He's too busy to make appearances on Smackdown.
And then Heyman made this whole... Well, okay, so we have... Yeah, so since Lesnar isn't there...
Rollins decides he's going to take his aggressions out on Heyman.
Yeah, and gets very creepy close.
Yes, he gets lap dancishly close to Paul Heyman.
It was awkward, almost. Like, Paul Heyman
mounted Heyman.
Heyman was just, like, looking away and was, like, pouty face. It was just...
Well, if he looked directly at Rollins, he'd get his eye jabbed out by the nose.
That's true. Rollins saying, well, if Lesnar's not here, then I'm going to curb stomp you. And then he goes, of course you're going to... Everybody does that. If Brock Lesnar's not here, I'm going to take my aggression out on Paul Heyman. And then Paul Heyman kind of switches it around and does this weird thing, like...
He's trying to diffuse the situation. Where
he says, like, if, it would be a mistake for Rollins to do that because, if he were to help Paul Heyman could maybe have Lesnar help the future when he decides the future is now. So, like, is he insinuating that, like, if Rollins happens to be champion sometime, that Brock Lesnar will, like, help protect Seth Rollins from losing the title?
That's sort of what he's insinuating.
That was just... That's a weird way to think about it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. It was just it got Seth Rollins to back up. Paul Heyman excused himself and just...
I think more than anything else, it confused Rollins.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it confused the hell out of me. I definitely don't think Rollins was expecting to have that kind of a conversation. It was a very strange way to diffuse the situation. Yeah. We'll have to see if it has any bearing on what happens in the future. One more match before we get into our main event. We had the 6-person tag team match. Alicia Fox teaming with the Money Makers. They ended up beating Usos and Naomi.
Naomi's got a crazy Mortal Kombat outfit on.
I like it. I like it a lot. I
was sad that Alicia Fox wasn't wearing the outfit she was wearing on Raw. Because I'm definitely not usually... I don't remember. It's red.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not usually one to rave about Alicia Fox being hot. But there was something going on with Alicia Fox on Raw that had me going. But yeah, they had some decent chemistry. Things, obviously, when you're doing a mixed tag team match, things always get a little offsy because you do have the forced tag rule.
Yeah, the guys can't wrestle the girls. So.
Yeah, so it slows things down a little bit sometimes. But to me, Naomi and Alicia were like starred of the match because when they were in, they were really pulling off a lot of quick spots and stuff.
Which was great because Miz did the thing where he like teases the crowd. He's like, "Okay, do you want me to tag in Mizdow?"
And he's like,
"Yeah, crazy." And he tags in Mizdow. Mizdow does like one move, turns around.
He gets in the ring
and like
turns starts around getting ready to,
and then gets a blind tag from Alicia Fox, which was like, it was perfect.
It's the same exact thing that Miz does.
Yeah.
But now there was
someone else to put the heat on, which was really cool. They had a good chunk of the match where they were able to really show off their ability. Naomi got to do her little stretchy kick, her like 1-up NXT kick.
Yeah.
Crossbody from the top rope, lots of action going on. Mizdow doing his usual, I'm
copying the Miz.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy the Miz. The end spot, we ended up having Jimmy in with both Miz and Mizdow. And Jimmy super kicks Mizdow.
Miz uses Mizdow as a meat shield.
Puts him in the way of the super kick. And as Mizdow is rolling out, that allows Miz to go around behind Jimmy and hit the skull-crushing finale and get the win. I wasn't too keen on this whole storyline. The storyline itself is kind of diluted into just Alicia and Naomi.
Yeah, well, it's
Alicia and Naomi are really the only ones that have real issues with each other.
Yeah. It's just matches at this point.
Yeah, Which I'm cool with. Because
yeah, I was
I
was glad to see it wasn't The Miz versus alternating Uso brother.
Yeah, it was good to see all of them get a little bit more time.
Everyone represented. Main event.
Yes,
was awesome.
Main event was really good. We have a solid authority team facing off against returning Daniel Bryan, joining Shield 2.0.
Yes.
Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns wanted a long-haired flying character with one color hair, and they got that in Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Everyone looked really good.
And a manly beard.
Yes. Yeah. Way better than Seth Rollins' beard.
Yeah.
A lot more work on Ambrose's knee in this match.
Mm-hmm. Big Show debuting a new submission hold.
Yeah. It's the same hand formation as the top wrist lock. I'm going to call it a top patella lock.
That's hard to say. Top patella.
Top patella.
The Tapatio lock.
It's a hot sauce lock.
Yes. Kane really was the one that just went to town on Ambrose's leg.
Kane is just... You were commenting...
Kane was in rare form. For a guy who worked 2 matches.
He was still going super strong.
Yeah, it was a fantastic showing by just about everybody in the match.
Yeah.
I zoned out a couple times, but at the same time, it was good to have the big hot tag spot at the end where Daniel Bryan gets to come back in and run his whole comeback spot with the backflip and the running dive out of the ring.
Yeah, he got to do every... I think the only regular move he didn't pull out was the drop kick from the top rope.
Yeah.
Which is he's probably holding off until he feels comfortable to do it.
Yeah.
But he was still able to do his corner drop kicks. He was doing his backflip, duck under a clothesline, hit his own clothesline.
Yeah, the dive out of the ring.
Dive out of the ring.
So, I mean, it's obvious Daniel Bryan is back. He's trying to be impressive. It's good to see somebody who comes back and added a spark to the show, because it was this, you can tell, he's just ecstatic to have returned.
Yeah.
And I think it made everybody in that match equally as excited.
Yeah, I actually read that the morale on Smackdown was the highest it's ever been. People are really excited, not only about Daniel Bryan being back, but the move back to Thursdays is exciting. People feel like it's a better promotion time rather than being on a night where everyone's out doing stuff.
Yeah,
it's a much more everyone's at home and can watch SmackDown kind of night. So people were super excited about this. We got Dean Ambrose doing his elbow drop to I believe it was Kane and J&J Security on the outside.
Something like that.
Daniel Bryan ends up getting the win over Kane with the running knee, the Aberdeen facebuster, whatever you want to call it.
Bearded Wizard.
The Bearded Wizard. Daniel Bryan beats Kane twice in one night. But Triple H feels that Kane deserves a rematch.
Yes.
And so next Thursday on SmackDown, it'll be Kane versus Daniel Bryan. And if Daniel Bryan loses, he won't be able to be in the Royal Rumble.
So we're the go home show to the Rumble has a little mystique to it.
Yeah.
I also have a slight feeling that we might be seeing Demon Kane on SmackDown.
Ooh. I think you might be right. We'll probably get some foreshadowing on Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could be down with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was like you said, not very many matches, but all the matches were real solid.
Yes.
A good debut for the move back to Thursdays, and making the wrestling week a little bit shorter, and getting us ever so close to the Royal Rumble.
Which starts the road to WrestleMania.
We're going.
We're going to WrestleMania.
We're going to WrestleMania.
You're going to get live. Probably not live.
No, not live. But
with the same day coverage.
Yeah.
Of stuff happening in Mania.
I'm kind of thinking we'll be doing kind of like daily vlogs when we get there.
We're gonna be telling you about all the stuff that we got to see at Access. We're gonna be telling you about how awesome it is to see Macho Man Randy Savage inducted into the Hall of Fame.
And who else are we gonna get? Can you imagine?
I'm thinking Nash.
That'd be awesome.
I want to see Nash inducted into the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't mind seeing DDP inducted into the Hall of Fame. Arn Anderson.
I'm so excited for this.
As himself, as a one-person deal. There's a lot of people that could get inducted.
Yeah.
The Dudleys.
Ooh.
Especially
Especially now that neither of them were in TNA.
Yeah. I did hear that they're rumoring now that one ECW guy could end up making it into the Hall of Fame this year.
Interesting.
And the two top names in running currently are Sabu and the Sandman.
I want Sabu. Sabu would be my choice. I don't think Sandman really deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I can't say I'd be like upset with it, but I feel like as far as what they did for wrestling, I think I'd prefer Sabu.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're excited. We're going to be talking about this way more and more and more.
Yeah.
You'll probably hear a shit ton about it. The show after the Rumble happens, or Rumble results.
Yeah, because then we know
who's going to be
pretty
the title
much
match.
what our main event's going to be.
Yeah.
We'll know who the champion is,
and probably
facing.
And the Rumble pay-per-view generally sets a lot of the feuds.
Yeah.
Going into Mania.
One real quick thing that I found out: they are not doing Elimination Chamber this year.
Really?
Yeah, they're putting the new pay-per-view Fastlane in place of the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, I thought they were doing them both.
They are not. I thought they were doing it too. It's February 22nd is going to be Fastlane. And
that's very themed for the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They're on the fast lane.
Here's my only real issue with it is that Stephanie McMahon said, a lot of people were talking about the reason they're not doing Elimination Chamber is that it's really they go out of their way to have to hang a heavy cage above the arena.
Yeah.
Especially when a lot of arenas have like giant scoreboards in the middle now.
So it's kind of a hassle.
Yeah.
It adds like a whole nother like one or two trucks to the team too.
Yeah. I find that kind of a cop-out. I think it's just because they don't want to have 2 years in a row. Or was it?
No.
No. Well,
alternating.
Yeah.
2 years in the last 3.
The Rock didn't defend in Elimination Chamber.
But he defended at the pay-per-view.
At the pay-per-view, but not in the chamber match, which we normally get. And then Brock Lesnar probably didn't want to do Elimination Chamber. So I don't know.
I don't think that's the reasoning, because I think I do think that WWE would do another Elimination Chamber match if it was just because Lesnar didn't want to do Elimination Chamber.
There wouldn't be a reason for it, though. The last time they did that was Swagger became #1 contender to face Del Rio for the world title.
Yeah, I feel like they would do a similar thing.
But it would have to be for like the Intercontinental title, because we only have one title.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we're getting Fastlane instead of Elimination Chamber. So one less theme pay-per-view, I guess. That could be an upside. So maybe it's a taste of things to come. But that is it for the Smackdown Rundown. That is it for the Wrestling Rundown. Week 31, Episode 31. We're moving right along. Be sure to check out the playlist, all the videos over there, all of our information down in the description. Like, favorite, subscribe, tweet, email, follow, Facebook.
My personal email is down.
What do you want to do?
My personal email is down there.
Yeah. You can send him personal questions. You can send all of us questions at fans.
If you want to know all the dirt on this guy.
Don't be talking rumors about me. It's bullshit.
Text me. Don't text me. Email me.
But next week...
Maybe I'll give you my number and then you can text me.
Ladies, he's single.
That's a maybe.
He's single, ladies.
Because I know this is the internet and there's a lot of weirdos on the internet.
Yeah, weirdos, stay away.
Yeah.
We can't do that. That's not...
No.
But next week on the Wrestling Rundown, episode 32, in the indie news, we'll be having 5 matches not to miss.
CZW
edition. We'll be having Royal Rumble predictions.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Be sure to refer back to the indie news.
Thomas's top 5 for the month of January?
No, we'll probably be doing that after the Rumble.
Okay.
It's kind of all pushed back because we did the top 5 of the year.
Yeah. It just throws me off because it'll be the last week of our last episode of January.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that after the Rumble because we'll be having the pay-per-view and plus all the other stuff going on.
So we'll do something else.
So Royal Rumble predictions. We'll be seeing more what's going to happen in Lucha Underground. More awesome NXT stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So
I'm going to break the announcement now because I've read ahead to some spoilers of NXT TV tapings. The next NXT takeover will be February 11th.
Yeah, buddy. We're getting it early, which is exciting.
And it's going to be on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Getting it early in the month and early in the week.
Yeah.
All kinds of early.
Yeah, so be looking forward to that because you know how much NXT takeovers are the awesomest shit ever.
Yeah. So we'll probably be getting some more information on that coming up next week. And I will see you all next week.
I see a camera.
They're in the they're right there. They're waving at you. Look, there's a Kevin Hawk Rock sign back there. You don't see that?
It's a tiny audience. How did they all fit in there?
It's a camera for ants.
Oh, okay.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.